Ronald Araujo, somebody's got to take a step back. And they never do it.
Meanwhile, Lamine Yamal, obviously we saw, as Gab just mentioned, not fully fit at the moment. Milan trips aside. Thank goodness for Hansi Flick, he was on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, I mean...
Lamine Yamal once again stunned the world with another brilliant performance, this time against Club Brugge. The young star stepped up when his team needed him most, leaving the Belgian defenders on the ground and scoring a goal worthy of a movie. After a disastrous showing from Hansi Flick's defensive line, which allowed Club Brugge to score 3 times against Barcelona, the highlight of the match was undoubtedly the resurgence of the best version of Lamine Yamal. He scored a fantastic goal, created another, played a direct role in the first, and showed true leadership on the pitch, forming an especially effective partnership with Fermin, who provided 2 assists. Barca was struggling against Brugge and seemed to be repeating the same pattern seen against Real Madrid, endless possession with no depth or real threat. That's when Lamine realized that if he didn't take action, the team risked throwing away 3 points in embarrassing fashion. At that moment, the prodigy decided to take control, demanding the ball, calling for plays, and waking the team up. And that's when we once again saw the Lamine Yamal who captivates the world. It was time to react. And fortunately, Barca did. A precise pass from Lamine to Fermin ended up at Ferran's feet, and with his first touch of the ball, he leveled the game in the 9th minute when the score was still 1-0 for Brugge. The goal brought energy and confidence, and Barcelona began to dominate. Everything looked promising until the 17th minute, when Club Brugge regained the lead with a collective move that once again exposed Flick's defensive flaws. A corner taken by Lamine ended up, just 5 seconds later, in the back of Barca's net. A lightning counterattack finished by Carlos Forbes. Between the poorly executed cross, the lack of urgency in tracking back, and Szczesny's bad positioning, the disaster was complete. This time, the reaction didn't come right away. Brugge continued to threaten on quick counters, exploiting Barcelona's desperation. It wasn't until the 26th minute, when Koundé hit the crossbar after a pass from Lamine, that the team showed signs of life again. From that point on, Lamine began to speed up the play, creating numerical advantages and leading every attack. Before halftime, he sent Ferran through on goal with a spectacular pass, but the forward wasted the chance after rounding the goalkeeper. The second half began with a more aggressive Barcelona. In the 61st minute, after a brilliant 1-2 with Fermin, Lamine tied the game with a stunning goal. By then, Lewandowski and Olmo had replaced Ferran and Casado. Even trailing 3-2, Lamine was carrying the team on his back. Every move went through him. And as if that weren't enough, in the 77th minute, a dangerous cross from the young star was deflected by Solis into his own net, sealing the 3-3 draw. Once again, Lamine Yamal was the absolute protagonist, a shining light amid the defensive chaos of Flick's Barcelona. Even Xhaka couldn't resist praising the brilliance of Barca's number 10.
I know we've said this before, but what a special player Lamine Yamal is. I mean, in terms of changing a game, in terms of dragging a team back into a game, and just how sometimes it's playground stuff. You see some of the things we saw in the highlights, some we couldn't cover it all with Lamine Yamal, but he just makes this game look so easy. And then to the point where you go away from home, you score 3 goals, and yet still you really should have lost. You really should have had, at least you get a point. That has to be frustrating on any attacking force, especially one where a teenager is carrying it the way that he is. That's a hard shift for a young man. But again, what a talent. Thank goodness for him, because I'm not sure that there's anything else in this Barcelona setup that you can really feel good about.
We're beginning to see with more consistency the tendency of Lamine Yamal to not just stay on the right-hand side, on the wing, just right next to the sideline. He's actually taking more central positions. And we saw from playmaking positions his ability to find through balls. We saw the ball for Ferran Torres that should have been a goal. And we saw the combination that ends up in his goal is him starting in a more central position, taking more of an inside position where he can now combine with Fermin Lopez goes on to score the goal. That tells me this is a player that is beginning to mature and to understand that, yeah, I can dominate out here, but I can also impact the game over there. The more he does that, his game becomes far more diverse. And he becomes more diverse, he becomes more dangerous, and becoming more dangerous, more difficult to stop.
A special player, Gab?
Yeah, no question. Special player, joy to watch. You just hope the kind of groin injury that he's dealing with, you just hope, as a neutral, as somebody who loves seeing ridiculously talented players play, you just hope that he's getting the medical treatment and the sports science that's needed to make sure that we see him at his best later in the season and, of course, at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the controversies surrounding the penalty and Brugge's disallowed goal at the end of the match, it's important to highlight that Lamine Yamal addressed recent rumors about his physical condition and emotional state. "I feel very good, very calm," he said. "A lot has been said about my groin injury, about me being sad, and none of that was true. I was, as always, very happy, focused on my work, trying to get back on the pitch and reach this level, which is where I feel best and have the most fun. I just try to give my best. It was a very quick play. Firmine left the ball on my heel, and I finished well, but I was left with the feeling that we didn't get the win, and I hope we do next time." Frankie de Jong also commented on Lamine's performance. "He's been playing well. He's a very good special player. He will always make a difference. He may have better games than others, but if he keeps working, we don't need to worry about Lamine's level." Hansi Flick said, "For me, what matters is being a team. It's good that Lamine played well, but we need to talk about many things. I'm happy to see Lamine at this level, but as I said last Sunday, I don't know exactly how he'll be for the next match. It's important that he can manage that. We hope he stays well, but we can't say exactly what the situation is." Lamine Yamal was a true nightmare for Brugge's defense, driving Barcelona back into the game with his intensity and talent. However, all the young stars and the team's efforts nearly fell apart when Szczęsny made a fatal mistake trying to dribble past Vermont. The Belgian forward intercepted the ball and scored into an empty net in the 91st minute. To make matters worse, referee Taylor initially allowed the goal in a disastrous decision. But after a VAR review, the play was correctly disallowed for a foul on the Polish goalkeeper.
Well, that would have been for me a penalty, 100%. I mean, I think I agree with Shaka in the fact that the striker doesn't touch the ball and the Bruges player doesn't touch the ball, and Szczęsny tried to compensate his mistake and goes to the contact and touches the player's knee just to prove that there is a contact. But he gives the contact. And he pushes the referee to say, oh, there is a contact, but the contact comes from him. So therefore, for me, no penalty, 100% no penalty. It should have been a goal. And I'm sorry, that ref, we know him. He's bad, very bad, and today he has proven it.
Ali.
So no foul, I think is what Frank is trying to say. No foul. What I would say is that if I'm gonna take the position of Szczęsny, who seemed to be the only person in the stadium that felt it was a foul right away. He calmly was saying, it's a foul. Well, why are we concerned all about this? It's going to be a foul. Don't worry about it. Go take a look at it. It's a foul. I think what Szczęsny would argue is that he has the right to be able to put his leg down when he's about to turn. And in the sliding challenge of Vermont does not allow that to happen and does make contact with Szczęsny. Now, the sliding challenge doesn't make contact with the ball, seems to make somewhat of a contact with Szczęsny, and I suppose that's where the foul is given. I can understand the position that Shaka has taken. I can understand the position that Frank has taken. And if I had been Vermont doing the same thing, I probably would have been frustrated that that was given as a foul. I would suggest that if you don't give the right to the goalkeeper, in this case Szczęsny, to be able to put his leg down so that then he can go and turn and find the ball, then I think if you didn't touch the ball and you made it a sliding challenge, you committed to the sliding challenge, I would say borderline, but just enough for a foul.
I agree with Moreno. Szczęsny was experienced in forcing a foul at the edge. There was indeed contact and an intentional challenge, and we can clearly see how difficult it was for the goalkeeper to plant his foot to contest the ball. VAR acted correctly in this play, and the referee simply confirmed the infraction after reviewing the monitor. We can hope this serves as a lesson for Szczęsny in such an important game. I didn't like seeing him risk that dribble in the final minutes, an unnecessarily dangerous decision. You could also see Lamine's frustration realizing the keeper almost jeopardized a brilliant performance. Fortunately, the referee was fair in disallowing the goal. Now we can talk about the disallowed penalty. The game had entered its final 20 minutes when VAR corrected an error by Anthony Taylor, who had initially awarded a non-existent penalty for an alleged foul by Balde on Forbes. The footage speaks for itself. Brugge gains position against the opponent, and it's Forbes who ends up hitting the Barcelona fullback's foot, simulating contact. In this case, the referee should have shown Forbes a yellow card for attempting to deceive the officials. There's no room for debate. There was simply no penalty.
Slightest of differences, Shaq, is that Bergman does commit to a challenge and does give an actual sliding motion towards Chesney, whereas in the case of Alejandro Balde, he's just standing still and Forbes kicks him. That, I think, is where you can draw a difference, and your parallel, while it's an engaging argument, I don't think they're the same situation.